True art is when you are alone. A photographic essay by Michael D. Greene. True art is when you are all alone. Walk by a mirror, stop to reflect, a visual evaluation of who you are, where you have come from, and where you are heading. I have a deep conversation with myself every time I catch a glimpse of my two-dimensional display. What have you seen and where have you been? The last 10 years have all been captured in a side-profiled portrait. From a teenager to a shadow, your imagination cannot create what this world is capable of revealing. The natural world is becoming invisible, appearing only as a backdrop for our own human dramas and catastrophes. Terry Tempest Williams perceives nature as being only important as a newscast, but I see the beauty of nature as art, and I hope she would smile knowing that. The blue sky blushing in a winter afternoon gives that nervous feeling of excitement. I look down on the city every morning, visualizing the possibilities and how little achievement is being accomplished by others. Our possibilities will never fulfill our potential, a sad-sounding thought on such a wonderful day. My mind wanders to places only my shadow can slip off into, gaps in space and time that have no boundaries except until I become conscious of my surroundings. From the sky I hear voices that sound like chanting tribes pounding on deerskin drums. Everything is in reverse though, so nobody can make sense of the static and eventually they just ignore it. I see it though. I point my finger at it and stare it down. Nothing can get by me. I won't be fooled by ignorance. Calm and self-centered, I gather my thoughts before they are interrupted by a sign on a dumpster. What is this? I can't just ignore an omen that is speaking to me. I walk over to the metal box and move a few trash bins so I can get a closer view. Is this irony? Thinking about creating a subliminal message while revealing an artistic display of self-awareness? I move on. Too deep. I think about where to wander off next, but my aura is quick to guide me to the middle of the street. I stand in the middle of the road with oncoming traffic heading right for me. The smell of a hospital grazes my memory. Laying in uncomfortable plastic beds and white sheets while machines are pumping oxygen through a tube down my throat make me snap a quick photo and jump back on the sidewalk. I could stroll down the street and get some inspiration at the local cantina, but for some reason, production is never really experienced after hops and barley. It's a strange town filled with 25% of the population working as bartenders, and the other 60% are full-time college students. Makes me wonder what the other 15% do. No time to digress. I have to keep moving. Downtown, I find shadows everywhere. Who would have known today was the perfect day for a photo shoot? My sights are set on bulky objects that can project interesting shapes. Stuck at a crosswalk, I notice lines of cars parked orderly in rows that flip-flop from white and red bumpers. A pole casts a shadow that almost seems to be in the shape of a giant cross spreading eagle on the concrete. This is too perfect. Holding one hand onto the street pole and the other onto the camera, my arms spread out as though the Holy Son himself has returned to give a message about peace or love. A man walks by, giving a strange squint in my direction, either trying to figure out if I was a homeless man that found an iPhone, or maybe the presence of the sun was too blinding. My shadow offers an open-handed invitation to the soul, but like most strangers, they keep moving. I feel like Dorothy Allison pondering the question, is it a sin, she would wonder, to put together the sacred and the absurd? I would leave it like the art, to make everyone a little nervous and unsure. As an artist, you become a god with your creations. There are no limits to the possibilities when you're constructing your own reality. No walls of confinement. Nobody but yourself to congratulate or punish. In art, transgression is holy, revelation a sacrament, and pursuing one's personal truth the only sure validation. Just as Dorothy Allison wants to rub her hands on the sweaty Jesus painting, I too long for something tangible from childhood. These are all thoughts I think of when I look out my window every morning. 7,000 ideas per minute, and I happen to only catch a few. Our possibilities never fulfill our potential, but we can try to potentially have more possibilities.